Howdy ho, everyone. I know I've been gone a while, but I'm back tonight with a wonderful guest that you guys have all heard from before, but we're going to talk to him going to find out what's been going on since I've been out of it. Let's just go with out of it. So for those of you who don't know, I went on hiatus in April because we had found a house in Florida and we moved from Kansas City area to Pensacola area. So it took a little while to get everything sorted out, and we made it. So hopefully you guys are all, ready to start asking questions or at least listening and finding out what's going on. So my guest tonight is David Glidden, and I've missed him so much. I'm just so glad that he got to be my first guest coming back here. And tonight, technically, is my 8th anniversary show, since my anniversary would have been in April, and we haven't had a show since then. So happy 8th anniversary to the Paranormal Pride. So I'm going to bring David up. There you go, David. So what have you been doing since we last saw each other?
I think I might be pregnant.
Oh, well.
One of the two.
Well, you got a new girlfriend feeding you?
No. I just ate a bunch.
Well,
None of that girlfriend stuff.
Yeah, it's really good food here.
Yeah.
So I've been making a lot of seafood. I made a seafood boil. I've made steamed shrimp, all kinds of good stuff.
Trying to find Ron's allergies, so you know how to get
that
policy.
Actually, I got that all sorted out. I just put shrimp in his swim trunks, and that'll take care of it.
Way to confuse him.
That's the way that the sharks will find him. Actually, one time we were on vacation. It was either in Destin or when we were in Galveston. Some kids were attacked by a tiger shark, but they had shrimp in their pockets. So I tease Ron all the time that I'm going to make sure he checks his swimsuit trunks before we go swimming.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Mm-hmm. So,
by the way,
what?
If anybody can guess my name here, what's significant about this?
I haven't kept up with anything on Facebook. If you didn't send me a message or contact me, I have no clue what in the world's going on.
So I do this all the time on Boogeyman Radios. I change my name every week. It's a different name, and I wait to see if anybody can guess it in the comments. So it's a good one here. Okay,
well, maybe I will pick up on that. We also don't have TV here, so it's interesting that we haven't done any of that stuff. We haven't seen any TV. We didn't know about the implosion of the sub until Carl said something. But I did see a really good sign, and it's going to get me in trouble. But up in Georgia, there was a Subway that had put on their sign, "Our subs don't implode."
Oh, no.
And nobody had a sense of humor, apparently.
Apparently.
I thought I was just, all I could do is too soon. But but I still had to laugh,
Yeah.
Because, my dark sense of humor.
Should have took a picture, posted it.
Well, somebody did. It got taken down.
Oh, no.
So our daughter was working for Subway at the time. At a different one here in Milton at the time. So I was like, oh, great. That's not good.
Said, I wish we thought of it first.
Yeah, and then here on, he said, wish we thought of it first.
Right.
So, but I will tell you that one of the greatest things here, and you may appreciate this, but everything's 5 minutes away.
Yes.
Everything. And when I say that, my doctor's office, three of the 4 are less than a mile away. It's great. I don't have to go anywhere. Even the hospital is down the street.
You got the beach.
Yep, got the beach.
Most importantly, the beach.
The beach is excellent. I still haven't found the haunted beach yet, but that's only because I've only gone to Navarre Beach so far.
You get a cadaver dog.
Well, right after we moved here.
Oh, there we go. Look at April.
Yep.
Yes, I am a national treasure.
She's my smart cousin, one of them.
I picked this name because I'm a national treasure.
Oh, okay. See, if I'd have been watching your show, I'd know that.
This is Nicolas Cage's name in the movie National Treasure.
I like Nicolas Cage. Not only did he own a haunted location, he's done some movies that are, want to be haunted.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. So
yeah.
And he's done some movies with people that I used to have a crush on, like John Cusack.
Who would have guessed?
I don't know. I don't know.
Right?
So
it's not like you ever talk about him or anything.
No, but I could talk to you probably all day about movies that he's done that I liked, but then I get to some other things and it's like, don't like that.
Yeah.
But we all change as we grow up. You never ever meet your idol. You will be so disappointed. So
for the most part,
yeah. Cassie, and hello April, and hello Brandon. I did see you.
Cassie's my idol. I've met her though.
Cassie is one of the sweetest people I know.
Never disappointed.
No, she's always got a smile on her face. So I saw something. Somebody sent me a thing, said, "Hey, like this page," and it was related to you.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about this.
Okay, so when did I decide to do this? Oh, was it last month? I think it was. I decided to do this tour, as I'm going to call it, the Midwest Mystery Tour. And this actually came about because of the event up there at Malvern Manor with Chris Williams and Dustin Perry. Got a lot of wheels turning, as just about anything does in my head. So I was like, I kind of want to do a tour as well. I like doing events. So I thought, well, why don't I just take a month off of work and then just go do a bunch of events? And so that's what I'm going to do. I've got 5 places booked. I'm supposed to be getting back with another location to possibly set up a 6th, and I'm waiting to hear back about a 7th. But I've got 5 different locations right now where tickets are available, where people can come and investigate and ghost hunt with me and a mystery guest. And the mystery guest is going to be somebody either that I respect in the paranormal community, somebody that I like their technique, their approach to things, or some celebrities. I know people like to meet celebrities, so I know a few people that have been on TV or had their own shows that are going to actually be participating in some of these investigations. So it's going to be random. You guys aren't going to know until the day of, or until you get there, who this mystery guest is. And plus, each location is going to have a unique experiment that everybody is going to be participating in. So it's not like you're just going there and ghost hunting. Like every event, you're going there and you're going to be part of an experiment that you will never get to do on a typical investigation, like event type of investigation. So I think
an experience.
Yeah. Oh, you're definitely going for an experience, and Cassie can attest. You investigate with me, you're going to have an experience. It's something you're going to remember. So yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be challenging for a lot of people probably to get through the experiments, maybe. But it's going to be a blast. I'm going to have fun with this. My co-host Charles from Boogeyman Radio, he's going to be going around with me as well. And so you'll get to meet him, meet myself, and our mystery guest, and have a unique experience ghost hunting.
Well, I just think it's so funny every time
No, Kelly, you're fine.
Every time I see Charlie, I think back to a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm the only one that can go back a long time ago.
I've gone through some of his pictures, and that boy.
Mm-hmm. He has grown up a lot, and I miss him. And he's already said, once things quiet down here, he's going to come out and visit. So, because he knows about where we are. He went to Destin in the past, so he knows about how far we are.
Okay.
So, but I can't wait for the house to empty out to where I have room for people to visit.
Right.
Every room in the house is full.
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah, there's no room at the inn. You're sleeping outside in the 121-degree weather.
Oof.
Yeah. So,
I seen the heat index down there. You won't catch me dead there.
No, that's the only way you're going to catch you.
You won't even catch me dead there.
I've never seen it like this before. It's just unusual. I mean, it's an unusual heat wave going across the south down here. So, but you know how we stay cool down here? We eat banana pudding. Oh, and drink iced tea until it comes out your ears.
Absolutely.
And not to mention, you can rot out your teeth with iced tea down here.
Best kind.
You say unsweet tea, and they look at you like, you can't mean that. Here, have some sweet tea.
It's like it's not as sweet as our sweet tea, but
yeah, it's not good.
Call it not as sweet.
So, but yeah, this is only my second convenience store iced tea since we've lived here in 2 months. So I don't know, it's weird. But hello, Angel. Hello, MGS Paranormal, and hello, Kelly. Let me see, did I miss anybody else? And hello, Jerry. I hope you guys are all having a good night. If you guys have any questions for David, let him rip. He'll answer any question.
So, I'll answer anything. I'll tell you whatever you want to know. Except for winning lottery numbers. I keep that to myself.
I assumed I did, Angel. I do assume I did. So actually this town is Pensacola is actually the oldest settlement in the United States. Everybody thinks it's over there in St. Augustine. That's the oldest city, but this is even older than St. Augustine here in Pensacola. So can't wait to get down to the lighthouse and check that out. There's a lot of shipwrecks. There's a few other things. There's a Paracon here in September that I plan on going to.
I see what you did there, Cassie. You tried to trick me. My answer, I said I would answer any question. My answer is show up and find out.
So we got a question here. What is your favorite gear at the present time?
I'm glad they said gear instead of piece of equipment because I consider myself a tool.
So do I.
Everybody does. No, as far as gear goes, like I'm a basic guy. Just give me a recorder. I'm good.
Hello, Grandma Karen.
Hi, Karen.
That's Ron's mom.
Hi, Ron's mom. But yeah, like outside of a recorder, like if you want to like hardcore gear that like you would actually pay a lot of money for, I would just say like the EDI Plus. It's a really nice multi-tool and it's got data logging capabilities. I like data. I like to have reference points and stuff like that. So it's a really good piece. I think everybody should own one, although they're like, I think $235.
Hey, Darren.
Darren.
So, well, I know Charlie has that EDI meter and he couldn't get it to work. And then one day I'm sitting there and it just starts going off. He was like, it's never worked anywhere before.
That's how mine was. Like, I had it 6 months before we did the school up here in Missouri. And the only time I ever got the EMF to go up any was if I got it near the breaker box. But I think maybe another 5 months later, another 6 months later, maybe I did that investigation down here at Carpenter, or I take that back, the underground in Eureka Springs, and I had a couple EMF blips, and then at Carpenter's mortuary we had a couple of huge spikes there, and that's the only time I've ever had it go off. Like it's been pretty cool. I feel like it's not giving me false positives when it's not doing it all the time, Yeah. So and I can actually go through the data and look at it. So that's very helpful.
With that data, do you have to look at it on a computer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in a spreadsheet. It gives you like your and it's by second, it logs every second, so you can check the EMF, the barometric pressure, temperature, I think humidity as well, and for the geophone that's on there, it'll give you a reading for like vibrational data, but like it's by second, so you can correlate to that degree uh, with other activity you might have had. So like what I like to do is if I'm running a recorder, I'll run the EDI as well, and if there's a spike on the EDI, I'll mark it on my recorder, speaking out loud, and then whenever I'm going over the recorder, if I capture a voice, maybe I'll see if there's like a spike in temperature or something that happened along with that EVP or something. So
you have another question. I just find it interesting when we actually have data that we can reference directly.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard data as opposed to soft data, which is feelings and can't be proven kind of stuff. You can prove this stuff. And I know that a lot of people, if you don't work with actual data, it's hard to explain why it's so important. I mean, everything I do is data driven.
Yeah.
So, and I see stuff and I feel stuff and all this stuff, but unless there's some data to go with it, how much of it is valid?
Exactly. And if you have correlating data, like, timestamps going with, say, an EVP or a paranormal incident, and then you have timestamps for EMF and timestamps for, humidity influx or temperature influx or whatever, you can see like, okay, so this happened and we had this happen at the same time. So next time we have this happen, will that other thing happen too? And you can kind of correlate the link between the two. And, the PRI, they do a lot of stuff like that with the data logging. And, I think that's off to a really good start. And once we can start correlating data like that, we can get kind of a more precise idea of cause and effect.
That's why when this stuff is happening, when you guys are getting data, whether it's through an EDI meter or anything else, speaking up. And I'm going to tell you, I'm the worst. I'm the worst at speaking up on stuff, only because of the fact that I see stuff so often, and Angel will probably be with me on that. I see stuff so often that I don't even think about it, and I just keep on going.
Right.
I don't even think about sharing, hey, this spirit over here just picked up a popsicle and is eating it, and it's cold. Don't even say anything, just keep on going. And somebody else goes, well, it's cold over here. Oh, that's because of this. Too little, too late. How can you validate it?
That's the thing, like somebody's a sensitive or something and they feel like a spirit or something is in the room with them and they call it out. Like, how often does a sensitive feel in a haunted location? How often does a sensitive feel like there's a spirit around them? Right. It seems like all the time. So you can't necessarily log that because it's feeling rather than a physical, manipulation or a physical sense.
But again, if they don't say anything, you don't know if there's anything else that's correlating
exactly
somewhere else. Because do I believe that everything has data. That's a fact. That everything is data. It's just what data is. Oh, what do I want to say? Subjective versus objective. And
that's where you have to build up and compile like a large amount of data that correlates, Yep.
So like Angel says, I definitely don't get over detailed unless I'm doing it for a team. So we do have a question from Darren. He asks you a question here. Do you have a favorite paranormal YouTube channel that you follow to get more ideas for investigating?
Honestly, no. I watch a bunch of stuff. I've got my Paratainment review channel that I started where I am literally watching YouTube videos, YouTube shows stuff that's on Paraflix, stuff that's on Discovery Plus. I'm reviewing a lot of shows, like giving my honest opinion and just kind of going over some things. And it's opening my eyes a little bit more to what, like, I already had a predisposition about like the paranormal shows on YouTube. And then shows like on Paraflix and back when I was on VidiSpace, like there were shows like that too. And like I have had a predisposition, but then I started watching a couple shows already that were a little more surprising to me. But there's still some bad shows out there. But I do review a lot of shows and just kind of give my input on them, whether it's good or bad, whatever. But I don't follow anyone in particular really anymore. I used to watch Paranormal Quest. Used to watch them. It seemed like that all changed. I've been keeping up with the Project Fear guys. They're entertaining anyway. So, why not? I was disappointed with a recent episode they did, but
I think they went to the Jamie Lee Curtis Scream School.
Maybe. Well, they got trained under Zach Baggins, so.
They are all part of SAG now. So,
yeah.
Got to do what you got to do to keep a paycheck coming in.
Yep.
I don't know anything about that.
Facts.
So, and April, I understand. She says, April says here, she goes, she had a spirit that claimed to be her husband's dad, try to get her attention for 2 days, but she can't hear what he's trying to say. And she says it's frustrating trying to figure that out. Sometimes you're not supposed to hear. And I know that
Angel, sometimes it's not meant for you.
Yeah. Angel will probably back me up on that as well. Sometimes you're just not meant to hear, or it's not something you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
So it just is what it is. So with your event,
yes,
I'm not going to ask you specifics because you already said it's mystery. So when you were up there with Chris and Dustin, you decided that you wanted to do a tour.
Well, there was a process behind it. So at that event, this blew my mind. Like I didn't have I had like maybe 1,400 people following me on TikTok, but like we stayed at Malvern after the event and everybody was gone. It's just me and Charles and a friend of ours. And it's like 3 a.m. I was like, I'm going to throw up my phone, put it on TikTok down in the Shadow Man hallway. Just let it sit there and run for 30 minutes and see how many people watch. I didn't think there'd be a lot. It's 3 a.m. So I go lay down, get up, come back, check my phone. And there's like 62 people still sitting on their live. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So I decided to do a little investigating for about an hour. And at the end of the stream, I had about, I want to say between about 4,500 viewers. Not all concurrent, but like total views. I had like 172 people watching at one time. So that was surprising. And I was like, oh, it'd be cool to go to investigations and just do these lives. And then when I went home, I stopped in Nevada, Missouri. I was going to go to the Bushwhacker jail. And again, I went live on Facebook not Facebook, but TikTok, because I was going to kind of take a tour of the place, but it was closed. So I just walked around downtown for, just a few minutes, like pointing out the buildings and looking at everything. And I had, about another 1,000 views on it. And I'm like, well, this is getting stupid because I don't have that big of a following on TikTok. And so at first I was considering just going to small towns and just kind of taking tours of museums and taking tours of like the downtown area and just kind of walking around and just doing it live and things like that, because I like to share history. I like to get information out there because people need to see this kind of stuff. And then it just kind of evolved from there. I was like, I kind of hate my job. So I want to take some time away and do something I love before I really get burned out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I figured like doing these events would be kind of fun because they would be self-sustaining and it'd allow me to go from place to place, meet a bunch of people and be able to conduct some experiments that I wanted to conduct. And the experiment idea came up because of when I was at Malvern with Chris and Dustin. When I was with Dustin, I actually talked Dustin into doing one of my experiments, and Dustin ended up having an experience based off of this experiment. It scared the crap out of him. It was pretty funny, I thought. But he, in the room that he was focused on, he had something move in the room, like you could hear it audibly, and freaked him out. He made an audible expletive, and and then he came to me afterwards, and like we started talking about the experiment and some variations and stuff like that. And so I wanted to try some of these different experiments, and I mean, what better way to do it than to get a bunch of people that want to participate, rather than just, hope that, you can gather some friends together on the same night. And if I'm doing this with strangers, this is something else that I always wanted to do, because like when I give my presentations at conferences and stuff, I try to get people to open up their minds to thinking outside of the box, and getting them to experience these experiments and this way of investigating, my way of investigating, where you're trying new things and being different than what you see on TV and all these YouTube channels. I think it'll allow for a little bit more growth within the field, and I think people can pick and choose what bits they enjoyed from that, and they can implement it in their way of investigating. So being able to do that and help people move forward in this stagnant field, I think is a very important thing. So that's something else I wanted to kind of do with this tour.
I think that's a good idea. I really do. I wish that once I get some more contacts down here, I think that you could expand it down this way.
Well, if this tour does well enough, it doesn't have to be superb, but if it does well enough, I think next year I'm going to expand the tour, and I'll probably keep it in the Midwest, but expand it further north and south. Like, I think the furthest south I'm going is going to be Arkansas, and the furthest north I'm going, well, I don't know if you'd consider it furthest north. Yeah, probably would be Ohio. I'm going out to Ohio to start off, coming all the way, working my way all the way back through down to Arkansas. So I had some people reach out from Minnesota, Texas, and things like that, wanting me to come up there and do something. But just trying to get these locations set up has been a little bit tricky, but a lot of it's come together really, really quick and easy.
Yeah, you're going to be running out of time for Minnesota and Wisconsin anyway because of winter.
Yeah, that's the thing too, because I'm doing this in the week. What's that?
I think it starts next week up there.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like I'm doing this in the middle, starting the middle of October to the middle of November. So
yeah, so you've got to hit you're going to have to hit some places pretty quick before the weather gets too bad.
Exactly.
But yeah, down here we've got the oldest cemetery in the Panhandle is here. Mm-hmm. It's amazing that they don't know if anybody. I mean, they know that Native Americans died here, and explorers died here, but they don't know where they were buried. So there's that. But the oldest one in the Panhandle is just down the street. We've got a haunted theater.
Now, have you already been to that cemetery though? Like,
yes, we've driven through it. That was it.
Didn't get out and look around.
It was getting to be night, and the mosquitoes are horrible.
Softball size.
No, they're not that size. They just apparently I'm tasty, and they said fresh meat.
Yeah.
And it's near the Blackwater River. But I was telling somebody this. So up in Bruton, Alabama, there is a creek that goes through there called Murder Creek. Okay, you wouldn't think that pre-Revolutionary War stuff would be down here, down this far.
Well, I know it is, but
yeah, but you don't think about pre-Revolutionary War. Most people think pre-Civil War, unless you're talking about up, Virginia and all that going north. Mm-hmm. You think of that, but there's so Murder Creek. You go cross it on Interstate 65 coming south, which goes to Mobile. and up to Birmingham. But we take off this little road that goes over to Bruton to get down here where we are. And I happened to see this, and I told Ron, I said, that can't be the original name of that creek. Why would somebody name it that? Well, there's a reason. So I'd like to check out where the massacre happened. It was related to some guides were going from location to location, but they hadn't checked with the guy who they were going to see to have him make nice with the natives.
Right.
And because they look like military, the natives killed them. So it's not good, but still I want to check it out and see what do we see, what do we hear. But
what kind of energy you pick up from it.
Yeah, because these people didn't even know that they were even a target. People didn't even think about that other than, hey, our friend is down here. We're going to go see him. They didn't think anything of it, that this guy hadn't already, paved his own way with the locals. So, But yeah, I want to check out. There's this other place we want to check out, but I was in the hospital the day before we wanted to go, and told Ron, I said, it's, I don't need to be doing steps when it's 117. And I was in the hospital yesterday, on that day. There's this interesting park over in Pensacola that current history is horrible. Okay.
There's a lot of horrible history in that area, in that southern area by the Gulf.
Yeah, but I'm saying just the current history in this park is bad. But then you go back further to, the history prior to it being a city park, and it was horrible. But you can look out over the water and you can see all the shipwrecks and things like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, a lot of people don't really they know about it, but they don't really think about all the piracy and stuff that happened down there with the Spanish, coming down there, the conquistadors. Like, there was a lot of murder, there was a lot of theft of property and things of that nature. So, like, there's a lot of bad apples that came through there.
Yeah, what's really bad about the area is that it was settled and unsettled, settled and unsettled. But then you also add in all the different forts.
Yeah.
So you've got all these outposts, and that's more of what it was. You got Dauphin Island over on the one side in Alabama with Fort Gaines, and then Fort Morgan. And I mean, Fort Morgan's been on TV a couple times so far. And then you got Fort Pickens, and you got the lighthouse, and then you keep going. There's so many, and then there's a bunch of plantations just to the north of here. So I don't know. Our real estate agent tried to show us one house, and I had told her, I said, there's no need to show us that house. And she said, why? I said, well, first off, the dusty rose carpet tells me that it's an old house, that it's really well taken care of, but somebody died in that house. I said, I don't need to go there. And she goes, how do you know somebody died in that house? Somebody died in that house. And our real estate agent goes, yep. She goes, they did. And our real estate agent also, one of her houses that she sold, she was the real estate agent for, was on Ghost Adventures.
Really?
So before we got here, we all know what she watched when she found out my name. So, in fact, a couple of our neighbors have already checked that out. We've made friends with some of our neighbors on talking about paranormal.
At least they're open to it and talk to you about it, instead of like witch.
Well, no, I think they'd go with the B word instead of the W word.
Well, yeah, probably.
So,
not the East Coast.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we keep teasing everybody about all of our trees in our yard look like this.
Oh, you got Squatch.
Yeah, the Bigfoot here.
The skunk ape.
Not only that, well, could be. But I think we have a bigger problem with bears.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that? That they got a video of a bear coming out of the ocean. So it's not bad enough that there's stuff in the ocean that can kill you, but stuff goes out into the ocean to get you to kill you.
Now the bears are going out there after you. Yeah, makes it more fun. That's why I won't swim in the ocean. I will not swim in the ocean.
I love it because the water is so clear you can see everything, including the jellyfish.
Yeah, that's always in the back of my mind is I'm either gonna get stung by jellyfish. It's not so much like the sharks, it's like the jellyfish, stepping on a sea urchin. There's so many things out there that are venomous. Blowfish, pufferfish. Like I'm gonna get a smack one of them things while I'm swimming. And
so you want to know what I'm concerned about? I'm concerned about when I see sand sharks up in the front, swimming down by my feet. Where are the big sharks at?
Right. Like no bull sharks or tiger sharks coming out there.
And then add in here.
There he is.
Yeah, that's Grandpa Shark.
You
know that song. We're not allowed to sing it though. Then
how about the metal version?
Probably not.
That's what I make my daughter watch that. I won't let her watch the other versions. She has to watch the metal versions.
Clover sings it.
Oh yeah.
She's got the whole thing down. For a 2-year-old, that's great. But yeah, here recently down at the beach, they've been talking about all the hammerhead sharks. And hammerheads don't usually attack people, but there's a bunch of nurse sharks here now too.
Yeah, those I'd be nervous about too. Yeah.
Well, Navarre Beach has. You're into fishing. So where we went swimming the other day, and I shared the picture with you, there is the longest pier into the Gulf of Mexico is there. Huh. In Navarre Beach. It's I think it goes out 1,500 yards. So
it's quite a pier.
And what's really bad is that people are fishing off this pier, and people are swimming on either side.
Yeah.
Does this make you think survival of the fittest?
That's one of my pet peeves when I go fishing is like if I take, like, recently I took my daughter to a fishing hole and like we were sitting there fishing and some kids just come down to the river and just started swimming right where we're fishing. I'm like, I said something to them and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we'll get out." I'm like, "What's the point? You already scared the fish away. You might as well stay." So we just packed up and I didn't want to get too angry with them because they're kids. I get it. It's just.
Have you been out to Jack's Fork?
No.
I guarantee you probably won't be swimming a whole lot in that water. It's cold. It's the other side of the state. It's over past.
If it's spring fed, I'd assume it's pretty cold.
It is spring fed.
Yeah.
It's isn't that Bennett Springs State Park?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's where it was. We went to Bennett Springs State Park and went on a canoe trip out there, and it was really nice. And I think
you can usually blame it on the cold water, but there you actually can, David.
Well, Lake Taneycomo over in Branson, it stays just above freezing all year round. Like, it's cold enough all year round where you can get hypothermia from getting in the water. So.
Oh yeah, I've been right next to it quite a few times where it's like, now I gotta go. I got to get up there closer to the shopping and the moonshine and all the other stuff because it's too cold down here. So, but it is nice. I mean, I like going down there and watching the fall, the mist roll in at Lake Taneycomo.
Yeah, I'd like to get a drone shot of all that, but I'm not right there at the river or at the lake whenever that rolls in, and I don't want to get up early.
Well, it does it at night too. I've
not seen it at night.
I have,
but just daytime or morning.
Because to be honest, if I'm work starts at 8:30 for me, I just go from there to here, so I get up at 8:30 if I'm lucky.
Right.
So, Ron's hoping that sometime soon he'll be able to start getting up earlier.
It'll happen, Ron. Just one of these days. Start going to bed earlier, Ron. With the crap. Stop with the partying.
No partying.
It's not spring break anymore. Keep the shirt on.
We're on summer break all the time. So, but yeah, at some point in time, I know you'll be down.
I will be.
So, I hope that your experiment and experiences work out. I really do. April asked if you're coming to Wisconsin, and I wanted to answer that wasn't on your list.
It's not on the agenda.
I was just giving him shit like I always do. And
I mean, maybe next year. Next year, if like I said, if this turns into a good thing, we have a good ride with this. I'll probably do an expanded tour next year, and looking for more states, more locations. But right now, I set my limit to like 10 locations, and we're probably going to just go ahead and do 7, because I'm literally going to do this in a 3-week period. So it'll be investigation, driving, investigation. I'll be able to. So one of the locations we're doing is Malvern Manor on October 30th. So after we do that, and I get some sleep, I'm going to drive straight home and take my daughter trick-or-treating, and then go to the next one. So like the only time I'm going to be home is going to be like for her birthday and for Halloween.
Well, her birthday's coming soon.
Yep.
I have it. I still have all the messages too from when she was born.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's October 20th is going to be it's going to be a busy day. I've got some events planned, but
it's just every time I look at her, I swear we could put her and Clover next to each other and they could be sisters. So,
she'd probably call her sister too. Like she thinks that she calls everybody her best friend.
Oh yeah.
And like it's cute, but this at the same time in this day and age, I kind of worry about that. I'm like, you might want to stop calling everybody your best friend. And thinking everybody's
at this age, it's not a big deal. So
only if they have candy.
Piper, on the other hand, our other granddaughter, she is an extrovert.
Yeah.
Everybody at school knows who she is, including the school resource officer.
That's a good thing, though.
She's making sure everybody knows exactly who she is, and she comes home and tells me a story every day about something. So, yeah. And I told my husband, I said, she's not. I mean, her mom. Okay.
Husband, does Ron know about him?
Yes. Yeah. My kids, when they were going to school, and I don't know about how you were, but my kids, the school called me and said, is there something wrong at home? Your daughter is so quiet. She doesn't say anything. She is just so good all the time. And the teacher happened to call at 7:30 in the morning, and that nice, calm, quiet child is screaming her head off, in the background. And I said, that's the kid you're talking about. I said, my kids just knew when to misbehave. Okay.
Yeah.
In the time when the world around us was falling apart, I answered the call.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of misbehaving, Carl.
Yeah. So yeah, my kids knew when to misbehave. So that's what I told the teacher. She calls me with the second kid and does the same thing. Same thing happens.
That was our commercial break.
Their third kid, she was horrible. She knew when to misbehave, but she also knew, that she was going to get in trouble. She didn't care. But, you're going to have the same thing. It's either going to be your kid knows when to behave or knows when, they know who to misbehave for. My kids behave for me all the time, or behave for everybody else all the time. For me, never.
Well, right now, my daughter behaves for me, and she behaves for everybody else except for her mom.
It's because that's normal.
Yeah, I'm like, good girl.
Well, you know why they do that? It's because she's comfortable.
Yeah.
So that tells you something about, about them.
Well, she also gets with her sister, and they do stupid stuff to their little brother. Her older sister is influential. So.
Yes, I know. I see that every day.
Yes, you know how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
But when she's here, she's not with her sister and stuff like that. So that's that's part of the reason too. She's getting all the attention from me, and if she does misbehave, she knows I'll see it
because you're the only one there.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I was growing up, I was the older sister. So we all know where my sisters got all their bad crap from.
They watched you.
Yeah, it was your fault.
Yeah.
Shame.
Some of it was not my fault. I will not take credit for drug abuse. Because you know me. You know that's not me. But that I won't take credit for. But drinking, I might. I might take some credit for that. I know
Denise was the gateway for her sisters.
Vodka and Kool-Aid worked out great.
Hey, it's never a dull moment.
Well, back in the 70s and 80s, had to get creative. There was a gas shortage. As a whole other topic. I don't know if you guys have heard that one, so I'm not going to tell you.
No.
So,
I don't know if you want to tell them or not. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the late night with Denise Bradmore and the 80s.
No, we're not going to do that. Just a heads up, tonight's show is only going to go until about 8 because I gotta get myself back into this stuff. So,
I gotta get a car.
Oh, and I got to go get a car that was left at some other place because the heat was so bad that somebody couldn't drive it with no air. So, not a bad thing, not a good thing. It just is what it is. So,
yeah.
So how did you like meeting Dustin Pari?
What's funny is I've seen a lot of his posts and stuff like that. And on social media, he seemed like such a churchy, goody type guy because he's always posted being inspirational and things of that nature. And he is, the way he talks is very pleasant and very soft. And that just kind of made me think he's this way. And then when I went and listened to him give his presentation and then talking to him and everything, I'm like, this guy is not that. He is hilarious, and he does cuss like a sailor, and he's just. But I do like his energy. He's got a very good energy about him. I don't know him well enough to say like it's fake or anything. That seems pretty genuine and authentic. So like I enjoyed meeting him, and same with Chris. Chris Williams was she was interesting to meet because talking with her, she's like-minded. Very like-minded, like really like-minded, and it was kind of refreshing to see from her because she wasn't all about the shows and stuff, what she did in the past or anything. She's like, yeah, she had a good time, but like she learned from that and got to see what life was like on that side, and she's not a fan of how things are again today and with it all, and so yeah, it was really refreshing.
Are either one of them planning on? I mean, I know Dustin is related to ghost hunters. Is Chris still doing anything with ghost hunters?
Yeah, she's been on a few episodes, like newer episodes and stuff like that. She's been joining on there every now and then.
Yeah.
So
okay. Well, see, no TV. Don't know.
Yeah.
We'll be getting college football starting, so we're going to be getting direct TV here soon.
Yeah, I'm in a fantasy football league with Brian Murray, and my team's Brian Murray's Nightmare, and I plan on whooping that boy's butt.
Good.
Something fierce. My team's cool. I got a killer team. We're gonna do good. I'm gonna win. Like it's $50 pot to get into the league, and so there's a $500 prize for the winner. For me at least,
beat the pants off of him.
Oh, I hope we beat the tar out of him. I hope he's like.
I don't have a positive word, so I'm not going to say the negative words that come to mind.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Just know I plan on winning, and I have no Baltimore Ravens to hold me back.
No. Well, you have to remember, I'm not a fan anymore of the Baltimore Ravens, so it all works out for me.
Okay.
Nor
do I have any Packers.
Yeah, well,
that's wrong.
We're sponsoring a football team called the Pensacola Jellyfish. They have no colors. They can't
No
offend
spine.
anybody. They have no backbones. So they're the perfect NFL team now.
It sounds like one.
We got the Blue Wahoos here for baseball, I think. Or is that hockey? There's a hockey team. There's a baseball team. And I'm like, I don't know. So it all works out for us. We're not really that interested in that. But I do hope that what?
Just know, first week of the NFL season, I will be texting you guys to rub it in Ron's face. So
apparently the Bears are playing Green Bay.
The Packers. Yep. Week 1.
Don't beat us up too bad.
Yeah, we'll leave Jordan Love alive so he can.
No,
take him out first.
Take him out first.
You'll be screaming, "Bring back Aaron Rodgers in a week."
I don't know.
Won't even be a week. He sucks.
I just don't even know what to think about Aaron Rodgers here of late.
He honestly, as a Bears fan, I hate all the Packers players, but after watching like the Pat McAfee show for the last year and stuff, but like Aaron Rodgers would go on there every Tuesday and just listening to him talk. Like, I actually kind of like Aaron Rodgers' personality. I like him as a person, but like he's very independent. He thinks independently.
Yeah.
He doesn't give two shits about what, I don't know if I can say that. Doesn't care what people think about him. Yep. What they say about him. He really doesn't care. It doesn't bother him.
No, as far as that goes, I think he's a great guy.
And I think him not caring just pisses people off even more because he doesn't react.
It's just like Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Tom Brady. I think that he's a good guy and he loves his family, and basically he could care less what you what.
Not so much.
Yeah, his wife doesn't like him, but that's a whole different problem. But you got to do what you got to do to make yourself the best person you can be. And if Tom Brady's is the stuff that he's doing, at least he's got a sense of humor, same as Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I mean, I miss Brett Favre. I wish I could. With Brett Favre could talk all day long and make me laugh.
Oh man!
But the other day we were in Whataburger down here, and made me think of Brett Favre. Ron too. This woman was in there, kept talking to this guy, and we turned around. And she kept saying, "Okay, Mr. Miyagi, okay." And I turn around, and there's this, little Asian guy there, and he looked like Mr. Miyagi.
That's what they're calling.
And that's why they were calling him that. But that's when Ron started talking to me about one of the times that Brett Favre was mic'd up. And Mr. Miyagi was in there. Pat Morita was in the stands.
No, he's on the field.
He was on the field there. So he got all excited. But yeah, it was, I don't know. But I will tell you that he had a good sense of humor. That's one of the things I always liked about Brett Favre. I like the people that are big in whatever it is they're doing, and they're just like me and you. Just
humbled. Stay humble.
Yep, and that's the way to go. It's the only way to go. So, but I don't know. You ought to find maybe a place near South Carolina where you can investigate maybe with one of your friends' families, with Rick Rose's family. One of the mystery things.
That would be down the road.
Yep, I know.
But yeah, I mean, I like that Carolina area. The North Carolina, South Carolina area is really nice. I actually used to live near there. Somewhat near it. I lived south of Chattanooga, down in Rossville, Georgia for a little while. And then I lived over by Knoxville for a little while. But that whole Appalachian area is it's beautiful.
It's amazing.
It really is. And there's a lot of places over there I'd love to visit. Again, it's just like one of the, I did get have somebody reach out, like trying to get me to set up something over there with the Bell Witch stuff.
In Adams?
For the Midwest Mystery Tour. But I don't know, like really if there's anything still there that I could get a group of people to investigate outside of the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I don't even know. I talked to Justin Spurrier about it like a while back. He's like, yeah, it's big enough. You could probably fit a dozen people in there, but it wouldn't be really all that comfortable or anything like that. So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
The area is interesting. I haven't been there yet.
Yeah.
We've talked about it back. Oh, shoot. It's been, let's see, 8 years ago. 8 years ago, we were supposed to go to Adams, but I broke my foot.
Which curse?
Well, no. I mean, I broke my foot in June or May, and by July, the doctor said, no, you can't go walking around in there in a cave after you just healed your foot up. So,
right.
But yeah, we've talked about it. We'd like to go at some point and check it out. I think the Bell Witch Cave is one of those places that it's the longest known haunt in the United States. You know, I'd like to just check it out. Is this haunt? I mean, I don't know if anybody was speaking of hauntings in Salem prior to
Ghost Hunters.
Yeah. I don't know when they started talking about all the hauntings up there, but this one was, I think it's the first documented haunting. The bad part is it's still no firsthand accounts.
Right. Exactly. It's all hearsay.
Mm-hmm. It's all hearsay. And then it was also shared years after the fact.
Right.
So how documented is it truly?
Exactly. Kelly was asking if I was going back to Garnett anytime soon. I've talked about it with John because I haven't been back there in a while. I need to go back there. Haven't been back in a while. So like I was in the talks about doing something with Garnett. They kind of fell through, and like I hadn't been there since. But like it wasn't the reason why I hadn't gotten back. It's just work, basically, trying to work on things personally, like with credit score, building that crap stuff up, and getting things situated. So trying to take care of everything, take care of the household before you go out and play, kind of thing. So hopefully, I've been thinking about going out there here in the next 2 weeks. If I do, I might go live. I don't know. Might go on TikTok, so you have to download TikTok, Kelly. Let China have
said she didn't want to do that you're going to make her do it.
I know. China wants your image. What can I say?
What do you need a good credit score for?
Do what?
Why do you need a good credit score?
He's eventually going to have to move out of John's.
I have to buy stuff.
Yes.
I bought a new car. I just had to buy a new car about 6 months ago. So that dinged my credit score, and I was like, damn it. So yeah, no, I've been building it up. For those that don't know, I used to be a bad boy, and yeah, and I ruined my credit a long time ago, but I've built it back up pretty good. So,
do you know we bought this house with Ron's 0 credit score?
He doesn't have any credit. He's got a big fat 0.
0. El Zippo.
Good God, Ron.
Mine was 860, but that's a whole different problem.
Well,
I did it.
We paid off all our bills.
Yeah. Well, that builds your credit.
Yep. It does until you don't have anything for 5 or 6 years, and then it goes to 0.
Yeah.
So, and they ding you for paying off all your bills.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it goes into collection and then you pay that off, I mean, that gives you a boost.
No collection.
But
so it's just we paid off our student loans,
credit cards, and
all that.
Yeah. Once you get it paid off, and yeah, like you said, if you're not doing anything with it for a few years, yeah, I noticed that.
We're pretty happy with it being 0. Just a heads up.
Just means you don't have any bills. Well, and who can argue with not having bills?
We have.
Now you have the house payment, but
yeah,
that's why I like to ask people when they say I need to get my credit up. Like, why do you need to do that? So I can borrow money. Why do you need to borrow money? So I can get a better credit score. For some pattern, it goes back and forth. You got to break the pattern.
So the way I'm doing it, like I have a credit card that's prepaid. So I put money on the card and then I spend and do that. And then, and I've been getting small loans lately, just small ones where like my interest rate's really low. So I don't mind paying the interest rate. And then of course, like my car payment now is going on, it's on my credit, which I kind of got screwed on that because it was a have to purchase.
Yeah, I hate those have to purchases. We just went through talking about the have to purchase.
Yeah.
Because my car is a lemon.
Yeah.
So we've been there, done that. But you know what? Everything's 5 minutes away. Back to that. Yeah. And there's 3 cars in the house. So if something happens, somebody can take me. It's not a big deal. So, but I'm going to go tonight. Guys, tonight I only did an hour show. I'm trying to get back into this. So please join us next week at 7 p.m. Central and find out who I'm going to have. I would love to talk to some more people. I'd love to know who I'm going to be having on.
Here's the guy you should reach out to is Pat Fitzhugh.
He's a nice guy.
Yes, he is.
I like him. He knows a lot about the Bell Witch Cave.
Yes. He's a good show. Very knowledgeable and very entertaining.
Yeah, I need to start going out there and watching everybody's shows and pick and choose from their repertoire of
their categories, their lists. Yeah.
So, but yep, I'm going to be back next week at 7:00, and you guys please come check us out and see what you think. Join us tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Central on Bill of Rights Network for Paranormal Nation Radio, Not So Normal. It will be me, Ron, Carl, and a guest. So come on and listen and make sure you bring your questions. We're going to have great time, and good night, everybody, and come back anytime, David.
Absolutely. Just let me know. Thanks.